wisdom,
prudentia,
justice,
justitia,
temperance,
temperantia,
courage.
fortitudo.
Applying ancient philosophy to modern life, this is the Sunday Stoic.
Welcome to the Sunday Stoic Podcast. This is Steve coming to you from Conway, Arkansas. This week we're going to hear from Seneca. He is going to introduce us to one of the core ideas of Stoicism, one that was later heavily discussed by Epictetus. To live well, we must understand the universe and not be upset when predictable things happen. The world works by a system of cause and effect. It is not personal. As Seneca calls it, it is the universal will. Moral Letters to Lucilius by Seneca, number 107, on obedience to the universal will. Paraphrased and quoted. Life is not a dainty business. Your so-called friends will deceive you. Your slaves will run away. Complaining about it is like being upset that playing in the dirt makes you dirty. The public bath or being in a crowd is a lot like living. You will slip and fall and be pushed around. At some point, you will leave a friend behind. At another, you will bury someone. It is in this stumbling fashion that you will travel the journey of life. You can't avoid life's troubles, but you can despise them. You will despise them if you take the time to anticipate them in the future. If you predict a danger, you will approach it more cautiously. If you have practiced meeting hardships, you will meet them more easily. Continual reflection will give you the power not to play the part of a scared little boy. Whatever trouble you have, others have had it worse. Be prepared to pay without complaint the tax of your mortality. We are all equal under the law of fate. We can't avoid troubles, but we can develop stout hearts, full of courage and in harmony with nature. Day follows night, dry follows wet. Eternity is a series of opposites. It is to this law that our souls must adjust themselves. This they should follow, this they should obey. Whatever happens, assume that it was bound to happen, and do not be willing to rail at nature. That which you cannot reform, it is best to endure, and attend uncomplainingly upon the God under whose guidance everything progresses, for it is a bad soldier who grumbles when following his commander. For this reason we should welcome our orders with energy and vigor, nor should we cease to follow the natural course of this most beautiful universe, into which all our future sufferings are woven. Let us address Jupiter, the pilot of this world mass, as did our great Cleanthes, in whose most eloquent lines which I shall now myself render in Latin. Lead me, O Master of the lofty heavens, my Father, whithersoever thou shalt wish. I shall not falter, but obey with speed. And though I would not, I shall go and suffer, in sin and sorrow, what I might have done. In noble virtue, I, the willing soul, fate leads, but the unwilling drags along. Let us live thus, and speak thus. Let fate find us ready and alert. Here is your great soul, the man who has given himself over to fate. On the other hand, that man is a weakling and a degenerate who struggles and maligns the order of the universe, and would rather reform the gods than reform himself. Farewell. If we are to live in this world and maintain our greatness of soul and our serenity, we need to realize that the world is a rough place. Rather than being built with us in mind, humans seem to be an afterthought on this planet and in the universe as a whole. We can only occupy very small, dry parts of this planet, a planet that's only one of billions in this universe, perhaps one of the few habitable ones around. The laws of nature and cause and effect mean that no matter what task we set out to complete, there will be complications. Nothing will ever go as planned, and if we can remember this, we can learn from the things that happen to us, and hopefully at least we can avoid overreacting to the things that happen to us. When we step in the mud, we should tell ourselves, I knew this might happen, and then move on with our day. As Seneca says, the strongest person is the one who can accept reality for what it is and learn from it, as if God or the universe ordered it to be thus. Who are you to whine otherwise? You have your orders. This is what happened to you. Figure out how to make the best of it and do the best job you can in the face of it. The weakest person is the one who thinks that the very laws of nature themselves should be bent for their convenience. I've been that person. I remember as a kid bonking my head on a table at home and wanting that table to be destroyed, as if that table had stepped out and hit me in the head maliciously. But we know that things happen. The universe is not against us. It may not be for us either. It simply is. We can't take things so personally. So those are things to think about from Seneca. Some very basic tenets of Stoicism. This whole concept of accepting fate and living with it and making the best of it and not trying to tear ourselves apart mentally, destroying our peace and tranquility, wishing the universe were different, when that is an impossibility. There's a lot of echoes of Epictetus here, or it's more of a prequel to Epictetus here. The idea of going to the bath, we should bear in mind what things will happen to us. This idea of premeditatio malorum, think about what's about to happen, what's likely to go wrong, and remember we have two goals in everything. The goal that we set out to accomplish, driving to work, taking the bath in the public bath, whatever, and the goal of maintaining our serenity no matter what happens when we attempt to accomplish the first goal. Here in the US of A, by the way, it has been Thanksgiving. I've been at my in-laws all week, and I just wanted to reflect on the things I'm thankful for. Normally we think of being thankful for family and thankful for our homes and things like that, but I wanted to reflect on the idea that I'm thankful for life's challenges. Difficulties at work, for example, that help me to grow as an instructor. Trying to reach students who are hard to reach and accomplish goals that seem impossible to accomplish. These challenges, even though I may not meet all of them, make me a better person if I don't throw up my hands and give up, but pursue them. Also, my screaming child helps me to learn patience and helps me to learn to be a better father. If everything were just perfect, I wouldn't grow. And I thank the universe, as it were, for these challenges to help me become a better person. Though I fail, I pick myself up and get better. So these are all things to think about. Some really excellent wisdom here. And we need to remember that the unwilling will be dragged along through life. We should try to paddle through life as if on a canoe, find the smooth flow of life. There are rapids, but we can have fun in those rapids rather than drown in them if we can keep a clear mind. I hope you all have a great week. I hope those of you in the US of A had a happy Thanksgiving. And for all of you all around the world, thank you for listening. And thank you to my newest patrons. I'll refer to you by name next time, I promise. I'm recording late at night after driving all day, and my kid's being read a bedtime story right now. So this is a bit of a clandestine in-the-car recording operation. But thank you all who are listening. Have a great weekend. Carpe diem.
Thank you for listening to The Sunday Stoic. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe, rate, and review The Sunday Stoic on iTunes. Become a member of the Sunday Stoic team, earn rewards, and be an integral part of the show by becoming a patron at www.patreon.com/SundayStoic. Contact the show by emailing sundaystoic@gmail.com or by leaving a voicemail at 501-503-3132. To find out more, visit www.sundaystoicpodcast.com. And as Steve always says, Carpe Diem.